There we go.
Hello and welcome. This is Gaming with a Side of Salt, where we fill the salt mines with all the salt in the world, apparently, and then we mine it every single week at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, Friday nights. With us tonight is a very special guest. He's all the way down there on the end. It is the one, the only Thomas of 14.
Hola, señor.
Okay. I got a bit of an emergency. I'll be right back.
And that would be D-Pad Chad, the one I usually keep locked in my basement.
I think he's hitting even harder than ever.
Oh, and with us, of course, is always Meg, the mediocre gamer girl. Links for everybody, of course, is in the description down below if you want to go check them out. We figured we'd start this with our meme of the day. Can't understand why people are whining. Gameplay's fine on my rig. Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why you guys are having such issues. My rig is fine.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah.
You know, I will say, I don't mind if someone has a fantastic rig. Just understand when people are saying, yeah, this won't play on a normie's computer, you know?
Yeah,
Just,
I
just,
could get
just have
that
a little bit of
sometimes.
understanding. You know, the people who, especially journalists, if they have an amazing rig, fantastic, but they should also have like a normie rig.
I don't know if journalists have an amazing rig, to be totally honest.
I don't think they have the same rigs as gamers do. I think they have only for photographs and such like that. But they have somebody on the side telling them, "Oh, this is how we're gonna set it up together, so that way you can put your videos, your pictures, and all that." And it's very little space, little.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure a lot of them play on console and just use virtual cards to
Yeah,
capture their footage at this point.
yeah.
Okay, I'm back.
Oh, Chad is
Oh,
back.
oh,
Is Rough
there's
Nut
my-
okay?
There's
Is Rough
No,
Nut okay?
it's didn't deal with Rough Nut. My friend got fired from her job.
Oh, I'm sorry.
oof. I
Yeah,
understand
they
that
were-
feeling. Believe me.
Yeah. So
Well,
but-
on a bright side, Doodle just got a job.
I know, right? Like,
Congratulations to Doodle.
yeah.
Oh, and I also I forgot to tell you guys that after I did an interview, I managed to get a new job now. So that's one of the reasons why I'm here. Though
Yeah.
Are we
Did you
going
go?
to get a Thomas regularly?
Wait, are we
now?
going to include Thomas
well,
more
the
often?
thing is, well, that's gonna be a maybe, considering that I get up at work at 5:30 of my time. So I might. So I don't know how long you guys do this. So I cannot make any promises.
10.
I'm gonna be there.
Yeah,
Okay.
we do it till 10. 10's usually our hard cutoff, except for the nights that I
Oh,
don't work
All right
the
then.
next
I will.
day. So,
All right. All right then. I'll just pop in and just say howdy to everybody. You know, as always.
yeah.
Yeah, and in reality, we're just going to keep hearing this.
I'm working.
Not anymore.
Yeah, I'm going to have to
but
get
you
more
should keep
samples.
that. Keep that sample. We need that. Just
Oh
in
no, it's saved. It is saved. Big shout out to
Oh,
Thomas
but
for
gaming news. What is going on today? So the famous Assassin's Creed Shadow recently launched. I think it launched yesterday. It's going in day 2. Early access was the day before, and yeah, it's having quite the fun little romp right now.
yeah.
So here's your Yosuke in canceled DLC
From a different game.
from the Division. So they
this
reused that, I guess.
It's fantastic.
this is what we call lazy use of sources. Very lazy one.
Yeah, you know, I get indie developers using assets that are, recycled. I mean, Phasmophobia does it. Demonologist does it. A lot of them do it. But this is a AAA company. They should not, like, they should be making some unique stuff, not.
No,
copy-paste.
I don't discount them for that. I mean, if it was canceled DLC, it didn't actually come out. Why waste it?
Well, here's the thing.
Well,
I
wait,
don't.
is that
There's no
Ubisoft
reason to
stuff?
waste the time that they took to do that.
That's a
Well,
good.
Use it.
That's a good point.
I don't know. I mean, that's still laziness, man. That's
Well,
late. I mean, they
Now
should.
it would be lazy if they pushed it out and it came out and then they took it and reused it
Yeah,
another property. That would be lazy.
yeah.
They've already gone through the work to do it. I don't. I'm not going to.
Okay, so let's see what else is here. Assassin's Creed Shadow will be discussed at the highest levels
I
of
mean-
government in Japan tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to the model of Yasuke, like I know I've complained about this before, but why are the black people always like really ugly? Like just it's kind of offensive. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
you know, like we're not all like bridge
What are you
trolls.
talking
It's
about,
just-
Meg? This is peak performance.
And also, dude, just tell me you don't know black people without telling me you don't know black people. Do you know how hard it is to get that hairstyle?
Peak performance.
yeah, no, I knew somebody that had that, and they had to. It took constant care over a year.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that takes
Yeah.
a lot of care.
It is insane the amount of care that you have to put into that because your hair can mat so quickly if you
Yeah.
don't, you know,
Why?
like
Why?
keep
Why? I gotta
upgrading
ask.
it.
I gotta ask. Why does he look like Predator Temu?
Timu Predator.
Yeah.
Temu Predator.
That's a
the
good
Predator
point.
From Wish.com.
No, Wish is gone.
Timu
Timo
is
is
the
in.
Wish.
It's all Timu now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Is
you're
that being like a
Wish.com.
millionaire or is it billionaire? I forget what it is.
Millionaire.
Be a Timu billionaire.
I'm gonna tell you guys before we continue on. I'm guilty of buying maybe a few things from Timu, and let me tell you, some of the stuff is good. Some of the stuff, well, they break really fast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie. I've gotten a few things from Timu too because I got this mat here. I got my capture card from Timu. It's pretty. It's surprisingly pretty good, and I've got an ice machine out there from Timu
Huh.
Yep.
that is still going. So
Timu advertises to me nonstop.
Yeah, they should
don't-
give a sponsorship or something.
I mean, it takes a while to get here, but
Oh yeah, it is
Yeah,
the slow
yeah,
motion
they
pattern, so.
gotta whip the kids in the sweatshops in China.
Yeah,
oh,
man.
yeah. I mean, sometimes it takes a
It's
while
like,
to
work
get here.
faster.
But Assassin's Creed Shadows apparently very much irritated the Japanese, even though Ubisoft came out and said that they didn't, and all the Japanese people complaining about it were fake chuds from America. And then they did these like translation things. It's like, see, this proves that they're all Americans just using Google Translate and bullshit. But
Ubisoft
it
is
apparently
French,
went
right?
all the way up to like the
Yes.
prime. What is their head of state? Prime Minister, I think is what it is. Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
their prime minister.
is
Yeah, like their prime minister had words to say about it, as well as
Yeah.
other people in their cabinet. So that's a thing. They were very upset about it. It was disrespectful for the most part, especially when it came to the shrines
yeah.
that you can
yeah.
go and destroy.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, Ubisoft apparently has launched a day one patch that prevents you from doing that now.
I'll
I mean,
send you the
so
link.
they're French, and they're the ones. France is the country that also did what is that movie, Amelia Perez, which pissed off all of Mexico. So apparently, like the French are just basically trying to piss off all the continents.
No. That is not an excuse because they did the one that was done in the Middle East, and they protected those shrines from the gate
Yeah.
out.
No, I'm just saying that,
So
that France is
they
picking
knew
on whoever
better.
they think they can bully. I guess they're like, oh,
They knew better. They just.
well,
guess
I
they
mean,
were
after Charlie Hebdo,
underestimating the
they were like,
Japanese
oh, we don't
offense.
feel like dying. Yeah.
I don't know.
They
I
probably
mean,
was just
last time the
underestimating
Japanese collectively got pissed off, they ran a bunch of planes into Pearl Harbor. So
They did
Well,
find out
hey,
about that. So,
Hey,
yeah.
Chad,
Yeah,
I gotta.
they
I
effed
gotta.
around and found out why
Hey,
you don't do that.
yeah,
Well,
So
you
what-
know, we have
what's
to ask.
Thomas?
Yeah, I was gonna say, what's gonna happen if we see a bunch of Japanese plane flying over France, ready to take out the Eiffel Towers?
well, I'm pretty sure that the French will just give up.
I mean, they already gave up with what's going on down there.
Yeah,
So, but
but
I do wonder whether those guys, those other interesting people that's already there, would even react or on it or anything.
well, see, I think that what's going to happen is I think that Ubisoft's going to be bought out by Tencent. That's my prediction.
Well, I don't know because a lot of the Chinese companies just recently pulled out of a lot of Western stuff. So,
Well, see, I
Ubisoft
think
may
they're
not
going
be
to
that.
buy it. I think they're going to buy it and then collapse all the IPs into their into.
I mean, that's a possibility. They try and steal the IPs, but
Yeah, I think that's the plan here with this because they own like 26%.
So
Like that.
Razorfist has an interesting theory to where he believes that Tencent will buy stock in a company, then push the company towards doing ESG,
Yep,
towards trying
I
to do
saw
ESG
that.
kind of stuff, which will ultimately tank said company, and then Tencent can buy the company out for pennies on the dollar.
Yeah,
Because
and then
the stock will be worthless. I
over.
mean, apparently, Ubisoft's stocks have not been doing particularly well in the past few days.
Yep.
Oof.
Oh yeah, it's gone down hard.
Yeah. I don't know if you have it in the salt. Well, I put it in the salt mines, but I don't know if you have it up next to it where I mentioned that Ubisoft is basically following the Veilguard model. So I'm not.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
see it right here. Yeah.
We'll get to it.
Okay. Yeah, because
Yeah.
I'm just like, I don't know how many dollars they're going to make off of this.
Yeah, which is great because I've already seen the reports, and we'll get to that too. Of how they're pumping up those numbers, you know.
What? No, they wouldn't do that. They're
They
honorable.
would never do such a thing. But Ubisoft outlines an anti-harassment plan to protect Assassin's Creed Shadow devs. They will sue if you go and harass their devs. Now, let's go ahead and say nobody is to go out and harass the devs directly, of course.
Define.
However, if some idiot goes on social media and spouts stupid stuff, you have every right in America to clap back when they do that shit. Now,
I need them to define what they mean by harass.
well, see, that's the thing. They talk about how people, harassing their employees and stuff. The problem is nobody really is doing that, and I think they're taking a page from Final Fantasy right now because they did the same thing over at Square Enix recently, right? And apparently, I found out what actually kind of was going on with that because back in the day, for any of you Blizz fans, do you remember Real ID? When they were going to impose that on everybody, and everybody was like, "That's a bad idea. Don't do that." And then their dev came out with the first Real ID thing and said, "See, it's okay. It's going to be fine." And then all these people on the forums decided to start posting all their shit right under their thing saying it's okay, it will be fine. And then they immediately retracted that and said, "Okay, that was a bad idea."
Yeah.
Apparently, Final Fantasy 14 decided to implement something similar to that. I don't know the exact details, but apparently that's what that was all over, where we were talking about how they were claiming they were going to sue and pursue these people harassing their devs. Apparently, they were implementing something in a similar vein, and then their player base did the same thing Blizzard's player base did. Except for Square apparently didn't say, "Oh, this was a bad idea." They just forced it anyway and said, "Fuck you, we're going to sue. Or we'll come after you."
Good luck.
Well, it's Japan, so it's a different thing over there. If they're going
I'm saying like good luck
players.
as in like try to come after us.
But yeah, so I think they're taking a page from that. Because you also have those same devs who usually come out when they say something really stupid. Like, who was it? Avowed was the last one, I think, to really do anything stupid with a dev. They always like to make up this stuff going, "Oh, woe is me, I'm being harassed, they're coming after me, they're sending me death threats and stuff." And in reality, it was, "This sucks. Fix it."
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
I didn't like that very much.
criticism or
Oh
something.
no, I'm oppressed.
Yeah.
critique is now oppression and death threats.
Isn't that the same thing with what happened with a thing called feminist frequency when they were
Yep.
crying out and they're endangering their life and all they got was a bunch of trolls just making fun of them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way,
This is an inherently feminine thing to do. Cry bullying, basically.
yeah. By the way, Zio, you might want to pull up that link I just posted in the private
I
chat
saw it.
because holy crap,
Nani,
That
nani.
bad?
I didn't expect it to be this bad, like at all.
I'll get to it.
Okay.
But yeah, let's see. Following Ubisoft's confirmation of an anti-harassment and online well-being support for staff, Canadian Commission security establishments have confirmed that it is not involved, and that earlier reporting on its involvement was as a result of mistranslation. By the way, apparently they had gotten the Canadian government involved somehow, according to the original reporting.
Okay.
We have updated our story to reflect this. So apparently that's not true. So there's that, I guess.
Oh, okay. I mean, it wouldn't shock me for the Canadian government to be draconian. So
No, it's
Well-
kind of like their MO.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
anyway,
it wouldn't be the
if you
first
want
time that the
Ubisoft stock-
Canadians would say something, right?
yeah,
And they're like, "We're coming for you," and we just laugh in American. So
yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't be the first time something like that has happened.
We have
Yeah.
over 50% of the world's guns are in 5 southern states.
Oh, damn, is that today?
Yeah, that's
Um,
current.
Try to see if you can.
No, like, is this dip today? This
Yeah,
is
one
a
day.
1-day dip.
yeah.
So
okay,
after
let's-
it came out, bam.
Let's do year.
yeah. Yeah. They had low. Ooh, damn.
Jeez, that's been the past year.
Yeah, it's not been a good year
Ubisoft
for
is-
Ubi.
What happened there? I want to know what happened there in the valley.
All right, what
Um,
came out around
October.
Is that when like the trailer for Assassin's Creed Shadows came
9/25.
out?
in 2024? What happened there? What came out then?
9, 25, 2024. Third quarter sales report.
Oh. Qué lástima, man.
Third quarter sales report came out and it tanked.
Yeah.
I mean, it came back up a little bit, but yeah, it looks like it's going down again. Yeah, I
Wonder
like to
what-
zoom this out so you don't get that one idiot. It's like, you're just showing the one day. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, here's the whole picture. Now
Well,
we can go
he-
back to the one
No,
day that
let's
looks
go
even
all
worse.
let's go all time and see just how bad this
Okay,
is.
here. I
Ooh.
think I got you guys an article that may be able to explain what happened and the why. So give me
Okay.
a second. Let's see. I can just get that. There we go.
There you go.
All right. Ubisoft had an absolute dire 2024. Desperately needs a win. I think this might be some of the reasons what's going on.
Yeah, I think people started jumping ship, and then the price dipped, so people want to capitalize and
No,
buy.
here's the thing. Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora failed. Prince of
Oh.
Persia: The Lost Crown underperformed. Skulls and Bones didn't make a splash. The Division: Heartland was canceled. Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time was
Oh,
pushed back to
This is all their
2026.
stuff. Okay, yeah.
yeah. You're starting.
Ooh.
You're
Star
starting
Wars
to. s-
Outlaws.
Yep. 744
Friendship Boys went on strike.
Yeah. So you're starting to see why it
Wow.
dipped down that badly.
And I love
So-
at the bottom. It's not great.
Yeah.
They're trying to be as nice as possible, but we both know that's
Ooh.
a company that's ready to die. That's already dead.
That's the biggest of oof memes right there. Ooh.
But yeah, they decided if you're gonna, harass their employees, yada yada, blah blah blah, they're gonna
Yep.
come after you.
I mean, I'm
Tough.
going to say this. This ain't financial advice, what I'm about to say, but I would be buying stock like mad if I could.
Yeah,
What?
I mean, I thought
if it gets
about it.
bought out, wouldn't it?
You'd make bank.
Hmm.
I'll think about it.
I mean,
No,
I can't.
I was
can't
thinking
not
about
in-
it. I'm not
I'm
gonna
not on
lie,
the European
but
Stock Exchange, so
at the same time, the question is it going to get the GameStop treatment?
I don't think so.
No. Mm-mm.
I
It's
don't
it's
know
a whole
if
different
if it
stock
gets
exchange.
bought
Even
out, you're not really going to be making much out of it. So
well, no, because usually the price goes way up right before a buyout, so you would make decent cash, but theoretically.
Well, the thing is, though, do I really want any extra taxes from coming from a foreign country like France? Nope.
Well, you
I
just don't pay them, and then
yeah,
never
it's
go to
also on the
France.
French market. So
ugh.
I mean, I don't plan to go to France, so I'll do tax evasion all day long.
Of course you would.
My husband said the food there is not
Just
that
call me
great.
John McAfee because I ain't paying that tax.
Well, we knew
Yeah,
what happened to him.
apparently, this is where they're raising concerns about the shrines being destroyed in game, which they did apparently force a day one patch to prevent. So there's that. They fixed that issue. A shrine from his home district appearing
It's not a
without
bug, it's a
permission to use its
feature.
name. Let's see. Pointing out the risks of the game, encouraging real world vandalism, noting that some tourists have climbed shrine. And the sad part is, normally I would say, come on, guys. Come on, old guys.
But
It's not
then-
going to do that. But because they've had people like Johnny Smamali or whatever the hell his name is,
Some
and shit like that over
Yeah.
there, that's a real concern for them right now.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
really is a real ass concern because those idiots go over there and nuisance stream.
Hmm.
I will
And,
say this.
Yeah.
I love my Japanese brothers over there for realsies. You guys are awesome, but you really need to take these people that you arrest to task and not just slap them on the wrist.
Yeah, do it
Well,
just
it's
like
okay,
what the
Korea
Koreans
did
did. Yeah, just do it like the Koreans do. Take them to jail. Make sure that they give them to the worst people right there. I would imagine.
See, places
Korea
like
just
Japan
beats
and
the
Korea
hell out of 'em,
usually
I
are
think.
pretty open to tourists and stuff, and they're really nice and things. But it bubbled up a lot when they were all in Japan, and then they went over to Korea, and it bubbled up even more, and then it snapped.
Yeah.
And then there were people out hunting these people. Like literally just hunting them down to beat their ass every time they stepped out somewhere.
Yeah. I'm gonna say this.
And I can't even blame them.
And
I really
can't.
can't.
No.
I'm gonna say this to every idiotic streamer who goes right there and thinks they can have a lot of fun and they can get away with it. If you guys go to jail right there, you deserve it. You deserve every print of being butt screwed by a large Japanese man or Korean dude.
Well, see, here's the thing. It ain't American jail. You're not going to be comfortable. It's going to be like you're sleeping on the cement.
Well, I don't know
Yeah.
how their jails are, so
Oh, they're
I'll
jails.
just take your word for it.
Yeah,
But I'm pretty sure people don't want to go to jail in another country.
Yeah, if it's a serious thing like Somali there, once he's processed, he's going to find out real quick that he doesn't get to have his, like, he was complaining because he didn't get to have a computer in his cell or whatever.
It's like, well,
And
fuck off.
yeah,
I don't know
they're,
what to tell you. It's jail, my good sir. Yeah, you're lucky. Listen, you go to an American jail, you get amenities.
yeah.
Other countries, they're not so forgiving, which is part of the problem
Dude,
with some of
especially-
our jail stuff too.
Yeah, especially
But-
Russia is no joke, dude.
Gulag.
It's like if you get
Yeah.
stuck in like a North Korean jail or something, or a Mexican jail, you're
North Korean
probably
jail is
going
just
to
a
die at some point. Or a Chinese jail. You might not survive that trip.
Yeah.
You're lucky you're in Japan or Korea because they're
They're more
they're maybe
westernized.
harsher than U.S. jails, but they're not Chinese jails.
Yeah, yeah. But I do think that, like, with Somali's case where he keeps violating his stuff, that, I think they're going to really hit him hard eventually.
Oh, I hope they do. I mean,
Me too.
he's already in
Same
it
here.
for quite a bit.
He's an absolute
so-
piece of shit human.
He is.
Yes, he is. He deserves everything that happens to him and more.
Anyway,
But- Here's some more Ubisoft issues. Be Ubisoft. Request a VTuber do a sponsored Assassin's Creed Shadow Stream. She agrees. VTuber streams it. As agreed. Not long after, VTuber gets banned on Twitch. It was a complaint from Ubisoft that got her banned because she streamed it at the wrong time. Turns out it was Ubisoft's mistake, and they misread the time, but they still blame her anyways. Ubisoft, this is getting ridiculous. So apparently, Ubisoft read
Can't tell time.
PM and AM wrong.
Yeah, sue them, sue them, sue them. Don't
Yeah.
care. Sue
Yep.
them.
Just
Lost revenue, 100%.
Yeah.
Especially if she's a bigger name.
Yep.
Absolutely.
oh yeah, go for them. Give them give them the anti-harassment treatment.
Right.
I mean, seriously, go for them with it. It's like, listen, you paid me to do this thing. I did this thing at the same time I was told to do it, and then you pulled me down.
I think she was banned for a day, but that's a lot of money loss.
Yeah,
Could have been streaming. She could have done a 24-hour stream.
They misread the time for 7 p.m. and decided to nuke her anyway, apparently. So yeah. Best bet is to just not do sponsorship for Ubisoft.
Right. By the way, if anybody here is familiar with the Vanos crew, one of theirs got kicked from an Ubisoft sponsorship because he was too edgy, and trust me, they are not.
Really? The
Really?
Vanos crew?
Yeah.
Too edgy.
Amateurs.
So, Ubisoft has Ubisoft Plus, which is something that we probably all conveniently forget exists.
Yeah.
I think it's pushed on Microsoft more than anything.
Wait,
I remember
Ubisoft
correctly.
has an Ubisoft Plus?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does.
I did not know that.
You can get all 3 games.
I think it gets pushed on like X or Game Pass is probably like the only places I really see it because they
Mm.
have like a combo thing or something.
Oh,
But yeah, so they have their own subscription service, similar to PlayStation Plus and
And
Game
EA
Pass and stuff like that. And they thought it was a great idea to put it on their service, right?
I don't
Yeah,
know
shit.
if this is
Where did it go?
short-sighted of them. Like they just thought, hey, that'd be cool to put on here, or if this is going to be their way to kind of try and bump their numbers
It's-
so that they
it's
can
their
lie to
bump
their
their numbers.
shareholders.
Yeah,
Because
it's
here it
100%
is.
number bump.
Here's the number bump. Assassin's Creed Shadow crosses the 1 million players on launch day.
Not sales.
Ubisoft says.
That's not sales, but it's their player numbers.
Oh no, everybody caught on to that.
It's like, really, you don't say players, eh?
Yeah.
So how many did it sell?
Well, stock
Oh.
says otherwise, to be
So
honest.
so everybody collectively had this reaction when reading that. Or it won't play. Cool.
Well, it
Love
seems like,
that.
seems like your soundboard seems to be taking a lot of breaks today.
Okay, I have to edit that file. Never mind. That's a hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right. There you go. You guys know the meme.
Hold
Damn
up,
it.
something ain't right.
But I am actually going to, while we do this, edit that so that I can
Yeah,
fix that.
yeah, it is.
That
That's
annoying.
what I was thinking. Ubisoft is Plus is pushed on Game Pass.
Yeah,
So
and
you
it's
can
like
get
what,
it included with your
$17
Game Pass.
a month?
Huh?
It's like $16, $17 a month. So if you,
Well,
I mean,
see, I think you like get it discounted if you have Game Pass, or
Well-
you get it rolled into Game Pass. I'm
I
not
think
sure
it's rolled
what
into
their
Game
deal
Pass.
was.
It's rolled
Really?
in.
Because I remember when I had Game Pass, I had a section that was like Ubisoft Plus, but I could access all the stuff there, but I didn't pay for Ubisoft Plus.
No, it comes with the package with the Game Pass. I used to had Game Pass years
Yeah.
back, and
It's-
they tend to roll a number of games right there exclusively there for the Xbox. So one of the things that Microsoft done is basically they collectively put all the old school games and put it as a Game Pass. which like Banjo Kazooie and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So if you have the Game Pass, you play those games for free. But if you want those games, you're gonna have to buy them.
Yeah.
But I mean, the thing is that with putting a brand new game like Assassin's Creed Shadows on here and opening weekend, I mean, this
It's deceptive. I know.
it is. Well, yeah, it's
Okay.
trying to bump the numbers to make
For
it
these
look like it's a
systems
bigger
here, all
deal
have a
than it
way to play it for free.
Hmm?
For the systems listed here, all have a
Mhm.
way to play it for free.
Okay.
PC, Xbox Series X and S, because they all have access to Game Pass, which means they all have access to Ubisoft Plus.
Which means we
The
all have
only
this
one that's
reaction.
selling would be PS5, unless PlayStation Plus also rolls it in, and I just don't know it. I mean, it's possible.
Yeah.
I
Which
haven't
means we
looked.
all have this reaction.
Fuck this shit, I'm out.
Wrong reaction.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, have a good night, everybody. We're out.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Oh, he fixed it finally.
Yeah.
But yeah, at least four or several of these have a way to do this for free, which is why it crossed 1 million. I'm sure everybody checked it out and then
And
was like, okay, and then left.
oh yeah, no, they did more than leave. They did more than leave.
But I
did-
did watch a little bit of a playthrough from Asmongold of all people,
Okay.
because it came up and they gifted him a copy to play.
Of course
What a
they
brave
did.
man. What a
Which-
brave man.
Doesn't happen often, but it's the first Assassin's Creed he's ever played, right? And I do have to give Ubisoft where credit is due. If you launch an Assassin's Creed game now, it has its own dedicated launcher, and it's nice. It's acting like you're logging into the Animus, and it
Oh,
brings up
that's
all
sick.
the games and stuff. It puts their time periods and the characters that you would play in it and stuff. And you can flip through it like you're looking through the memories and the Animus files,
That's cool.
and
I like
it is
that.
really nice. I'm not gonna lie. Let me see if I can bring that up real quick just to show it.
Like I said, he's very brave playing this kind of a game in question.
Well, the thing is, like, here's the thing. If
Uh huh.
I don't think they have the time, because they're living on borrowed time right now. But if Ubisoft had the time, I think they could actually make this a pull it out of the clutches of failure. But they would have to
Oh,
do a lot.
Well, a lot of the weakness is not in the execution. So like a lot of the technical aspects are actually not terrible. There's some cool little Easter eggs. There's some cool ideas in there. Some of the
There's the problem.
parkour stuff and the climbing, etc., actually doesn't look bad. The sceneries are beautiful. The problem is that the game story is really, really lame.
Well, we
And
can get into
also
the
the whole
story here in a
Yasuke
bit.
character feels like he doesn't belong there, but they act like you're
Well, he
crazy for
doesn't.
thinking
That's
that
the
he
thing,
doesn't belong
like-
there.
He,
Let's see.
he's a footnote in history.
Well,
Well,
yeah, but
He
the
was
thing
also a
is,
slave, so that was bartered and then shown off as a pet.
Yeah.
He has no significant footprint anywhere in history, but that
Man-
doesn't matter. That doesn't
Man,
matter.
so you're telling me that Assassin's Creed went from Ezio, one of the most beloved characters of all Assassin's Creed, going to this now.
Yeah.
No, listen, they went from removing a crossbow that they
Yep.
played in the trailer for the first Assassin's Creed because it wasn't historically accurate to
Yeah.
it's all made up.
Uh,
So
Yeah.
nothing matters anymore. That's what they've gone with.
maybe
So
they should.
that's
Maybe
why
they should.
people were upset.
Is there at least
you know-
is there at least a disclaimer that says, "Warning: all of this is fiction. We just borrowed some of the timeline. Blah blah blah." Any
Nah,
kind of
there's no
disclaimer.
trigger warning for that.
Ah.
But
well, it's
you know,
utterly immersion breaking. I mean, you have
that's
this.
why people were upset about it. It's like,
Yeah.
but history, and then you had those idiots. It's like, what's this game? It's fiction. And it's like, yeah,
Hey.
I know a lot of elements were fiction because the Templar, the assassins, yada yada, all that other stuff. But at the same time, they rooted a lot of their stuff in what was historically capable of happening.
Yeah, it's
So-
a genre called
And they
historical fiction.
bastardize several of the people's historical figures in this game
Oh, what they did
to
was
a point
downright
that
disgusting.
that another reason for the Japanese to get really, really upset, like Oganaga's
Nobunaga.
Nobunaga.
like younger sister or whatever
Hmm.
has this whole fling with Yosuke. And if you played the canon version of the game, because the game has a setting called canon, where it does all the right choices for you to make it the canon version of the game,
Hmm.
she cheats on her husband for Yosuke the entire way. But this is a woman who is known in history to be very, very faithful to her husband, who died along with her, for her husband, just to save her children in a raid with some army somewhere that stormed their area or whatnot, and she wound up perishing with her husband and sent her
Protecting the
children
children.
off to continue living.
Yeah. Isn't
So they
she like,
bastardized that bit of the history so they can make the Japanese even more mad, I guess, at them.
Also,
Yeah,
so we went
ahead.
from them being historically accurate to the link I just posted.
To completely bastardizing everything. What did you just post?
This is one of those things what I keep telling people, saying, "Oh, it's just a game, baby." I'm like, if you're gonna do something historical or anything like that, at least be accurate. Inaccuracies, you're making yourself look like idiots.
Everybody, welcome. Welcome to Whose
Oh.
Line Is It Anyway, the show where everything's made up and the points don't matter. That's right. The points are just like how wrong your girlfriend is when you're having a fight with her. That's right.
But yeah,
Anyway.
that's where we're at. Freaking Ubisoft is whose line is it anyway at this point? Without the
So,
comment.
Mhm.
take a look at this. This is how the
All right, let's
game
go.
boots up and stuff. I
Alright,
just wanted to
let's
show
see.
it real quick because I liked it. I thought it was nice. It's credit where
whatever
credit's
happened to that
due,
guy?
right?
Oh, that's sick. Yep, I remember.
Well, they're
It's like all
missing
the
the
other
latest
characters.
rendition in that, but
Yeah.
Why'd they not put Yasuke on there?
yeah. You notice all those dudes were like decked out like the
I'm
shaman?
sorry. It does have a trigger warning there. Assassin's Creed is a work of historical fiction created by a diverse team.
Ugh, I hate
Inspired by
everything.
historical
No.
events, people, and locations, it remains a work of fiction, and which is
Wh-
in which creative liberties have been taken to adapt it to an interactive format of a video game.
Okay, hold on. Whoa,
Boom.
hold on.
It does have a trigger warning.
do-
I missed that.
But this trigger warning, it doesn't really tell you. It doesn't. It just goes around it saying, "Oh, we can get away with it because this." It doesn't.
Because
It
it's
doesn't.
fiction.
I know.
Creative
It's
liberty.
like you can say that you want. but-
So the thing that irritates me, honestly, is that this game is called Assassin's Creed, and Yasuke cannot be an assassin.
Yeah.
Like, he literally can't in the
Don't
game.
worry. We can talk about the gameplay here in a second too, because it really pisses me off because I kind of like assassin games.
Yeah.
Which is why I want a
Same here.
modern day of like Tenchu stealth assassin.
I was about
Right?
to say, Tenchu did it so well.
was so
And,
good.
and if I could have like a level editor, me and Chad
there
could
was
have
a level
so much
editor.
fun creating levels and pushing them to each other to do on stream or something.
That would be sick.
Oh, that would be fucking epic because I used to do that back in the day with a friend. We would sit there and we would, because it had a level editor. And it's like, okay, I'm going to make the level, then he'll go into the other room or something and then come back, he'll play it, then he'll make a thing, I'll go into another room while he's doing that. An hour passes, come back and I'll try and beat his level and gosh, that was so much fun.
Oh
But
man,
yeah,
and
this is logging into the Animus. I thought it was good. I
Yeah,
thought it was
it
nice.
it looks sick.
A beautiful place, isn't it? A fresh sea breeze, the warm sun.
What?
This
Yeah, if you
beach
haven't
belongs
played it, you
just
don't-
to you.
If you don't know, you
It
don't know.
doesn't exist out in the world. Everything you see here is from the past.
What did I download?
Your past.
What did I
He's a
download?
bit confused.
One of your ancestors visited this place long ago, forever writing their memory into the fabric of your DNA.
Is this an ad?
Animus Ego
Is this an
is to
ad?
make memories for you. To sense. Wander
It's not Japan.
and connect.
This is not Japan.
Like grains of sand.
That was from the first
hell?
Assassin's Creed.
These past lives.
The hidden.
And
This
in
is
who
the-
you are today.
Yeah, this is
This is like
Your
an ad for the
journey to
anime.
mindfulness begins
Welcome
through
to the
these
anime.
ancestral memories for a total perspective on what makes you you.
New memory streams are activating now.
Here we go.
what the
My
fuck?
self-doubt.
He's like, did I download a virus?
Begins to conquer the world.
Uh-oh.
Yep. Here we go.
I don't know.
As
What
we
was-
go downloaded the dark web.
You know,
What the fuck is going on?
It's a little long-winded, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah,
it is. Oh boy, here we go.
I will say though that if I hadn't,
Huh?
yeah,
And there you can
if I
pick your
didn't already
Assassin's Creed
know
game you wanna
about
play.
this lore, I would be very
Okay,
confused logging
so-
into this game.
Animus. Access? Story?
He's starting to realize connecting the
What
dots
is
now.
this? Project? What the?
You see the gears turning.
Huh?
Yeah, but I
There's-
like it.
There's no way to
This is a
understand what's
nice
going on
little
here.
thing they've done
Great
for the
game.
Assassin's Creed games. I have to give them credit where credit's due. It's not.
Well, see, here's the thing. I think this is for the fans of Assassin's Creed.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
purely like a for a fan thing. You know, it's like you're logging into the Animus for the first time. You have access to all the different stories,
All the different
provided
games,
you've
yeah.
bought the games, of course. You know, and you can click on it. You can pick a memory. You can go back and rewatch videos and stuff like that. It's a nice little, hub for all that.
I don't think that it's well done. However, I will say that it's well done if you know. If you don't know, you're basically making the Asmongold face. Like, huh?
Yeah,
What?
yeah. I mean, if
Yeah.
you don't know, you're making the Asmongold face. If you're a long time fan,
But if you're a long-time
It's
fan, you won't
amazing.
like this game. So
That's true. I mean,
then you go play one of the other Assassin's Creeds. They're
Yeah.
there.
yeah, but it's kind of like one of those "who is this for" kind of moments. You're like, okay, is this for
the
normies or
Assassin's Creed
not?
fans.
Yeah.
This is for the fans, and you got to figure it out. When you
No, I mean
try
the
to click
game
one of the
itself.
others, it will say purchase the game for $70. So
I mean, again, this
Cock tease.
the picture didn't look bad. I mean, this background is nice. It's got a cool aesthetic. I like the fonts that they chose. Like all this is not bad stuff necessarily. You've got an assassin and a samurai who
just
is like the
confusing.
exact opposite of an assassin though, which is irritating to me. It
Yeah.
bothers me on every single level. I'm trying very hard not to yell about it.
Yeah, anybody who actually does at least
Yeah, I
some
think that's
basic
the biggest
understanding of
thing.
what samurais are and what their task and job is, then yeah, they would be pissed off seeing this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, the thing is that samurai considered shinobi to be dishonorable.
Dishonorable, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So that they're teaming up, like
Wait,
there
wait,
should be like so
story?
much conflict
Story
between
Forgiving, normal, and
Normal.
heart expert.
yeah.
So
Uh,
wait. Go
wait.
back to where it highlights story.
Yeah, please. I'm curious.
Please go
I-
back.
Go back, please. I am so curious just to
Just,
check this out.
just tap till he highlights story, please. Right,
There-
okay.
Oh, wait.
Wait.
Okay.
There, pause.
There you go.
I'm trying to.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so
Here we go.
let's be real. That's not story mode.
That's
Journalist
journalist mode.
Yes. That's journalist mode.
or journalist as
So we
What
should.
about
So
that?
anybody that knows how to make
Now
mods,
look
can you
at this.
change that from story mode to journalism mode?
You got a guided exploration, canon mode, if you want to play the canon version of the game, and immersive mode.
Okay, so
Jeez.
okay, guys. So anybody that does any modding or anything like that, can you guys fix this? So that way,
to journalist mode.
yeah. And
That'd be
for
great.
for canon mode, just change it to indoctrination mode.
You know what? For canon mode, just turn it off.
Oh, let's read what guided exploration.
Canon mode is
Oh.
basically it uninstalls the game.
Turning
You
on
want to
will
play the
make
canon
game
version
guide
of
you
this?
straight
It
to the
doesn't exist. The
objective.
game will close.
The whole point, the investigation was a huge part of Assassin's. What?
Well, yeah, they've taken that all out. Granted, you can toggle it on or off, so
Yeah.
there's that. Let's see. Canon mode is the default experience, allowing you to influence Naoe's and Yasuke's decision during cutscenes.
That's when it's off.
An
Yeah,
immersion
basically the
mode.
one where they're not.
Activating this option automatically sets and locks the voiceover language to Japanese and blends Japanese and Portuguese dialogue for an immersive audio experience. Now, no offense, watching this game, I kind of felt like it needed to be in Japanese. by
That is
default.
what I heard. I heard that
It just
the
doesn't
English
sound
actors are
right in
terrible.
English at
Okay, I was
all.
about to say, was localization that bad? But yeah.
No,
Yeah.
it's just sometimes English
Well, show-
acting just doesn't translate very well.
Gotcha.
It's that way with a
Yeah.
lot of anime too.
Oh,
Yeah,
here
yeah.
we go. Yep, here we go.
For the Baragnano, you are expected to appear before Lord Nobunaga today.
Oh,
Yeah, that is
Ooh.
that is rough.
No,
say it.
not gonna lie though.
In the surface. In the box.
What do you think is in the box?
What's in the box?
Yasuke?
What's in the box?
What's in the
I
box?
guess it's Yasuke too.
What's in the box?
In the form of the most
My
powerful
career.
warlord their history had known.
No way they put.
Oda Nobunaga.
Oh,
A lord who
Okay.
took an interest.
They're not that edgy. They're not that edgy. But I was thinking the same thing when I,
I
saw
was
the
like,
box.
did they
Didn't see
really?
Yosuke. I was like, they did not put him in the box.
Hey,
That-
hey.
Did they? Because that's some balls right there.
Hey,
You know
I
what's
would've
funny?
been
I
okay
wonder if
with
that
it.
was bait.
No, he was standing on the side the whole time, like looking off into the distance.
Oh, I
and-
didn't even notice that.
Well, see,
Shit.
that's the thing. Nobody saw him up to this point, for the most
Yeah.
part. There's his back, but we don't realize that's him because you booted the game up and you can't actually see him outside of some hair there.
And then he's not
really
shown
in
until
any other
the-
frame.
Well,
and
he's
they
at the
beginning.
load
there.
the thing out, and then they focus in on him in the background
Why is
over
the
there.
lighting so odd on his face?
Oh, do you think they did that to bait people to think that he's going to be in the box and then show him like, yeah, that's right, you little racist shits.
Yeah, I would have
But
been
look at
happy
that
with
lighting,
that.
though.
Legitimately, what is up with his? What is up with the
up
lighting
with
on
that?
his face?
It looks so.
Either he's got
Glowy.
white paint there, or the lighting is
No,
bad.
that's lighting and it's bad.
So, I mean, it's lighting him oddly. Like I've seen some
Yeah.
pictures of Nawe, and she doesn't look so bad. These people don't look terrible. Again, my complaint is, wow, she looks okay. She looks terrible.
Say it.
People with out
She
eyebrows.
looks
I'm
like
sorry
she
to the
looks like her
eyebrow
husband just
community.
got done
I don't like
beating
that
her.
look. You always look slightly demonic when you have no eyebrows. It's a thing.
Yeah.
Why doesn't she have eyebrows?
Yeah, she has like these two like bruises on her
See,
head.
the lighting's
It's like,
a bit better right there. He doesn't have the whiteness forehead now.
I think they try to over exaggerate his
His
facial
coloring
features.
is not great.
Now the cutscenes, I think, look better, or not these
I-
cutscenes. These
I
are
heard the cutscenes
in-game
were pretty
cutscenes,
good,
but like
but-
the cutscene
Yeah.
cutscenes, I think they looked better when they weren't in-game
Well,
cutscenes.
So the thing is that he doesn't have enough pigment in his skin color. Like maybe so the thing is though, they're in France. If that's the case, maybe they're used to black people who don't get a lot of sun, so they don't have like they have the natural melanin, but their
Wouldn't that
skin
be
is kind of like
racist or
grayish,
something in their book.
as
They look-
opposed to people who
So-
literally come from Africa. Your
Well,
skin tends to be
basically,
a
they
little bit
look.
redder.
Basically, they look ashy.
Maybe
Yeah,
it's just
like
nowadays
he just looks like he
better.
like needs like a little bit of lotion everywhere on his face. So
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, maybe I was wrong. I was just looking at them on my phone. I thought they were
What?
the other cutscenes.
Why is her hair short?
Over there. What's in the box?
Get to the copper.
What's in the
I know.
box?
I know. In
So,
my
yeah, Asmund Go has said, "Sam, what's in the box?"
Still in the box.
yeah. Why is her hair short? I mean, I know Japanese keep it long. I don't. To my knowledge, I don't
I think
think
in feudal Japan
She's a
it was
Or,
just
wait, no,
her
she
hair,
was
wasn't
she a shinobi like beforehand, or is it after this that she becomes a ninja essentially?
Well,
I
I,
don't know, I didn't
think
play the
that I think he
I don't
put
remember.
like the knife on her wrist, like the stabby knife on her wrist.
the assassin knife.
So she
Yeah,
can go
see there
over
it is right
here.
there. So she's
There's the
she's part
Assassin's
of the
Creed
Assassin's
logo.
Guild, I guess.
Okay.
Japan, the Japan wing. But yeah, but
The
thing
Japan
is-
branch of the assassination business.
exactly, because that's how that goes, when travel takes months, years, you have like a 32% chance of surviving it. Yeah, you're just gonna like spread across to the other continents.
Of course. Do you know how bad this looks, by the way? Okay.
Well,
Dude, that jaw is broken.
Bro,
Yeah,
he
she's
put a
dead.
baseball
she's
bat.
dead. Yeah. Oh, what's
Either that
was-
or at least she talks funny for the rest of her
What's
life.
in the box?
This is rewrite our history.
What is it?
Hurry! Someone's coming!
It's a
Is it
white.
Fruit of Eden, I think they were called.
Yep.
Oh yeah, no, she is dead.
Probably dead.
She's
Yeah,
gonna get
yeah.
an infection. She's gonna bleed out.
Yeah, she's gone.
How does this guy get there?
Got you.
Like they just started walking out. That was not like
Yeah.
You gotta get the
What
box
was that?
back, right?
You are alive.
He just passed her and was like, "Did you do it like I told you to?"
That's my plan. I've got alive.
That makes no
that
sense
looks
at all.
like PS3 graphics.
Yeah. No, I heard that there's some spots
Rest
that
my
were.
plan. I've got you.
The box. I couldn't stop him.
Yeah, you just got hit in the
I
face.
should not.
So much swelling.
Both.
At
She's
least
not
one
bloody, no
bone broken in the
swelling, no
face.
nothing.
Dude,
Okay.
and that was a club. That thing would have killed an average person, no matter whether you're
I
a man
forgot
or a
what those
woman.
things are called, but that's like a legitimate weapon that they have.
It is.
It's
Yeah,
a
yeah, it's a
big
spiked club.
looking thing with studs on it. That thing get hitting that hard that would probably kill you. Cave in.
Yeah,
your
that's
skull.
why I'm like, yeah, she should not be alive. She should be.
Let's
Yeah,
let's
the other
be
issue
charitable
I have.
and say because it's a backhand swing, he didn't use as much power as he could have. Backhand swings are hard, but why am I hearing me? I don't. Yep. Why am can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you twice over.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Oh, wait,
doing.
I'm echoing too. The hell?
Why
Zia,
are
Zia.
they echoing suddenly?
Fix things.
Fix things. I don't
But
know why
like
you're
even if you
echoing.
grant all. Okay. Nope. Still hearing me.
Yeah.
But even I'm gonna try just to power through. Even if you grant that maybe she didn't die, she can't be talking normally right now. You just got hit in the face with a spiked club. Like you should be talking like this. Like there should be something happening with your voice. There should be swelling happening already and all that jazz.
Yeah, what should be happening with her voice is this because she's gargling blood.
Yeah.
All right, did that fix it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it did.
Yep.
It did.
No, we're good.
All right.
Well, yeah, so that's already like 12th mistake already that I've seen so far.
Well, see, the other issue I have with these newer Assassin's Creed games is the fact that they're implementing RPG elements, and I don't have a problem with RPG.
I heard a lot
elements,
of people complain about that.
but it's the fact that in order to if you want to assassinate somebody and they're too high of a level, you can't do it, and it's just like,
That's not how assassination
what?
works.
Yeah.
That's not how this should work.
I mean, the higher the level, just like the better protected he is by other people in the room or something.
Do you get the
But
feeling that they saw Boulder Gate's success and tried to shoehorn that formula into Assassin's Creed somehow?
No.
but I mean, they've been doing that for the last several iterations of this game, right?
Not
Yeah,
really.
they've been
Oh,
adding
I
the
can't say.
RPG elements for the last, at least in the last game, and people complained about it then too.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Okay.
I mean,
And
I
that's
just know
why I
the
was like,
scuttlebutt. I don't
I
really
want
play
a
the game.
good Assassin's game.
Not a
But
good
Assassin's Creed's
RPG
not what
dressed
you're gonna
up.
Oh, he's level 5. Congratulations. Base stats.
Assassin's Creed shouldn't have
That should
levels.
That shouldn't even be necessary in Assassin's Creed game.
Right?
It's out of place.
I'm okay with leveling up. Like, you get super sneaky, you get smoke bombs, you get the
Well,
ability
yeah,
to use
see,
extra
I like
sneaky
the idea
skills.
of unlocking gear.
Yeah,
Right?
as like
That's
as you
something
progress
true.
through the game,
Would
you
have
get more
back
gear.
in the
Yeah.
day. It's
You
like
get
you
gooder
first
at the
spot,
assassinating and the
get
sneaking and such.
extra gear, new katanas, things like that. But yeah. Oh, and then there's a day-night cycle, right?
Mm-hmm.
In this game, there's
Okay.
no way to progress that without waiting. And there is
Ooh.
apparently a ton of gear that is geared towards nighttime mission doing.
Well,
Mm.
yeah, as assassin.
Yeah, I mean that makes
But
sense.
you, there's no like
Assassin,
wait
do it at
for
night.
night.
You
You
get
know?
better, bonuses and stuff for doing it, but you can't progress the game time. So if you want to do the mission at night, you have to wait 30 minutes real time because that's about how long it takes it to do a day-night cycle.
Oh
Did-
no, I don't have
so-
the patience for that.
Me
So
neither.
question about that.
I don't either.
Do you
I don't have
That's
the time
under
for that. I have a
concern
real
for
life and a
complaining
job,
about.
guys.
right? So question about the day-night cycle and the having to wait real time. Do you think that was done to artificially push the playtime of people?
I would say it was done because they're dumb.
I mean, that
Like,
too.
the
It might
idea
have been.
of-
It
like,
might have been, Chad.
Even Monster Hunter had enough sense to include things that work during different times of the day to implement a rest function to go ahead and say, okay, I want to rest till morning, or I want to rest till evening or night.
You can rest till a
And I
different
can
season.
change the season of the area to find the monsters I'm looking for without having to wait 30 minutes in game for it to progress over to the next thing.
Yeah.
Like Monster Hunter Wilds had enough sense to think of that.
Yeah, most games do, honestly.
And they're inexperienced.
Skyrim.
And they're like, day-night cycle. That's going to be great. It's going to be a hit. And didn't think about the fact that half their shit requires you to do it at night, and you have to just stand around and wait for it to progress till night.
I mean, freaking Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time for the the N64
Yeah.
knew that you needed to be able, if you needed to do something at night specifically, you need a way to do this quickly because life. You have to real life.
Yeah.
You don't have like all of this time to sit around and stare at the beautiful scenery and behold your genius with bonsai trees. Like, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
All right, I'm done
Next.
with that rant. I'm over.
All right. So let's move on. That's it. Assassin's Creed is toast on the PC. Assassin's Creed numbers Friday peaked and failed to beat Dragon Age Velguard's number 2 day. Day number 2 is no better for Assassin's Creed Shadows. Anyway, we're talking about their numbers so far, and here's their numbers on a Friday evening. Let's refresh that so we can get correct numbers real quick. And that is their numbers on a Friday night. Now, I expect it to go up through Saturday and maybe
Yeah, but-
Sunday because it always does.
Yeah, and
Vanguard did the same thing. It didn't do well, even though it launched in the middle of the week until Saturday, Sunday. Then it hit their like magic 79 number or whatever it was on Steam. But this is not looking good for it at all.
no,
That's why
if
they're
you-
using the 1 million player number instead
Yeah.
of the actual units pushed.
Sales. Yeah.
well,
Ooh.
also if you pull up the so I think I went to SteamDB, but you pull up Veilguard and you see that yeah, Velgard's number 2 day is higher than this. And then after that, Saturday's numbers were higher.
Oh, this is
Same.
you want Velgard's?
Yeah, pull up Velgard.
You want their DB or Steam chart?
This DB, yeah. At least that's where I compared it.
All right, let's see.
Well, I've been using both because sometimes there's a bit of a discrepancy, a little bit.
Yeah. But either way, I mean, if you compare it to what happened in Velgard was on day 2. Velgard was higher than this, and then you want to go to max. So day 2, which was the Friday,
day
hit
1.
what? That's the Sunday, Thursday.
It won't. There's Saturday,
Mhm.
84. There we go. Friday, 77.
Yeah, it didn't even hit that, like, bro. And then Velgard did go up Saturday and Sunday, and then it just dropped precipitously.
Yeah, that's what I'm predicting that it will do.
Yeah.
It will go up Saturday, Sunday, and then crater.
So I had a coworker that he told me he played it for free on the PlayStation because and
then I guess you can get Ubisoft Plus on PlayStation.
Yeah, so he played for free on the PlayStation. He played it for about 30 minutes and then uninstalled it.
Really?
Wow.
Why did he say he did it?
He said like it just didn't capture him. The story was ass up to that point, and he just was like.
I mean,
he said the controls were jank. He didn't like just like what Zio said about the RPG thing. He was like, I can't stand that.
Yeah.
So
you got like 1 hour to capture somebody in a game like that. If you're not capturing them within that first hour, you have lost them permanently.
Just like when I was at EB Games back when EB Games sold games and not boxes with game codes. I was there, and Final Fantasy, not 14, not 15, 12. No. What's the one with Snow and
13?
13. Final Fantasy 13 was coming out. I was playing a demo of it.
Yeah, it's the one that I can't get past the first, hour or so of the game.
Yeah. Well, somebody said that after the first 20 hours or so, it gets better, and I'm
I
like,
said the same thing with Starfield.
20?
Yeah, I heard that about this game. That like the last
I've
5 hours are really good, but you have to get through 35 hours of nonsense.
I've heard that, like, what little bit I have heard of the Final Fantasy 13 world intrigues the hell out of me.
Oh.
The problem is, I haven't dived too much into it because I want to eventually play and experience it, right? So I don't want too many spoilers, but it intrigues the hell out of me because I'm like, this is going to be really good. The problem is, every time I pick it up and start playing it, I get to the same spot with Snow and Shiva where you're supposed to beat down Shiva, so Snow has Shiva as his Aeon or whatnot, right?
Yeah.
And that's where I stop playing because I'm so bored up to that point. I just never make it past that part. I save right before the fight. I start to do the fight. I get my ass kicked for a second because I haven't learned the fight yet, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm like, you know what? I'm bored of this. And then I go on. Like, at least when I was playing Final Fantasy VI and I kept falling asleep in the middle of the tower fight at the very end and waking up and realizing everybody's dead, going, what the hell happened? And then redid it 15 times, doing the exact same thing, falling asleep, waking up, everybody's dead. What the hell happened? I was interested in that story. I can't get that same satisfaction from Final Fantasy 13, and I don't think I ever will. I need to just eventually listen to a video of what happened to that world.
Yeah. I had a bit of a similar situation, but with Fallout 76. What happened is, and I think I told this with Chad, what happened. I downloaded the game, I created my character, and I was all like, all right, let's crack point and see why people are complaining. Within the first 10 minutes of the game, I fell off from the ground for some reason. I clipped out.
Oh, you fell on it. Oh, wow.
Yeah, I clipped out as soon as I was going down there, and then the game booted me out. I was all like,
Oh.
and I was all like, okay. So
Oh.
I tried, and then I tried again. I, decided to go a different direction. Next thing you know, I was going through the hills, and then the game booted me out.
Yeah, so the funny thing about that is apparently way back when there was a dev room in 76 that had unlimited money, and not just in game, but like unlimited, like what you would pay real money for.
Yeah,
for
yeah,
76. And these people that do out of bound videos and stuff let Bethesda know. I think it's Bethesda, whoever's running 76.
Or ZeniMax.
ZeniMax, yeah.
ZeniMax.
I mean, it's Bethesda property. Or
Yeah,
Bethesda
but they let them know, and the response wasn't, "Thanks for letting us know. We'll get that patch. Appreciate it." They banned them all.
What?
Yep.
Yeah. Now, anyway,
Maybe they
I did
consider it to be
enjoy
harassment.
Fallout 76 when me and Chad was playing it, but
That's why I
it
smiled
literally
at
required
Zio.
me to play with somebody to enjoy that game.
I did not enjoy it.
I honestly, here's the thing. I played Fallout 2, loved Fallout 2. They went to 3D, and I just couldn't get into it.
I played Fallout
That's a
1.
sourpuss.
I played Fallout 1, 2, 3, New Vegas, and 4. I'll tell you this, though. While many people, I know this will be out of topic a little bit, but I'll just say this. While many people may like Fallout New Vegas, it's only because of the story. For me, I like Fallout 3 because it is the closest of the realistic this is I won't say closest, but it's the only aspect that I would
Believable.
that I would agree that it's post-apocalyptic and you actually feel like you had to survive. Fallout
So-
New Vegas felt too easy for me that I even tried putting it in hard mode and hardcore mode, and I was still able to beat that game.
So Thomas is like, you like New Vegas because of the
story.
The story. I like or was it 3?
Yeah, 3. I like 3 for
I like
the
3
difficultiness.
for the difficulty. We are not the same.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And I played 4, and I'm sorry to say this, I needed mods to make the game even harder for me. That's how.
And just think, New Vegas was made by the same company that made Avowed.
Yeah, many people. Yeah.
Not the same anymore, though.
Yeah, and the thing is, 2 was hard as nails. That you could actually make it to a point where you couldn't progress because of how badly you fucked up your choices.
Oh, don't get me even started.
And
with-
let's not talk about the
prefer
addiction to
3D
Jet.
Fallout.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm just
Jet,
the weird
like,
one out. I like
Jet,
4.
Jet addiction was so devastating in Fallout 2. Like, you
Yeah.
never wanted to use Jet.
Yeah, I remember putting a mod for Fallout 4 in order for me to, in order to make it more difficult. I made sure that drugs have a drawback. Like I had to find
Yeah.
a mod for that, so that way I can make my gameplay difficult and make me just say no to the drugs and try to figure a way how to get past through an area or
Drugs
take
should
down a
always have a
super mutant.
drawback.
Yeah.
All right,
Okay.
so you guys ready for the final boss fight and the music?
Oh my
that
goodness!
accompanies
I
it?
read this, and I thought he was being hyperbolic, and then I hit play.
What was that, Japanese hip hop?
No, they're trying to emulate a sort of African aesthetic
Yeah.
mixed in with Japanese music while singing chinsha, which just maybe that's a word. Maybe those are words. I don't know.
Well, the
This doesn't
guy.
even look that fun. I'm not gonna lie. Like, if that's the
No,
final
he is
boss
no fun to
fight,
play as, my dude.
that is not fun to play at all. You want to know a good boss fight? Monster Hunter Wilds calls you. Anyway,
Yeah.
Hold on, I got a. Hold on, I think I got a perfect for this one. Let's see if I can find it.
But while you look for that, look at what this guy says. This account here is like, okay, who at Ubisoft thought it was a good idea to have a guy chant "Ching Chong" over and over again during the final boss fight? And
Yeah.
again, I thought he was being hyperbolic. Then I hit play and I heard it. I was like, "Oh my goodness, what the
Yeah.
hell?"
All right, here's the
That buy you
fir-
enough time, Thomas?
yeah, I got it. I got it. I got the video. My reaction at first, try to imagine the first guy is the game, and then I'm the other dude that's going like the heck. I think this one's it.
Yeah.
And see if you guys can check on
Yeah.
it before you even play it.
My yard.
Wait.
Yeah.
I
All
gotta
right,
bring
go.
it over.
All right, here we go.
Oh, yeah, I know this one.
This one.
All of you.
Daddy, chill.
What the hell is even that?
Dad,
I-
the daddy chill is the game telling me to relax, and I'm all like, what the hell is
What the
even
hell is
that?
Oh. So let's see. Assassin's Creed Shadow Director says recent delays was to polish the parkour, especially on the super complex roof. 2 months later, I guess they should have delayed it more. Let's see how this played out, shall we?
Oh, jeez, here we go.
What the hell? Well, that's a soft lock if I ever see one. Now,
Oh,
you're in the
wow,
middle of
he's
the ocean,
flying.
honey.
She's defying
There
gravity.
You're in the middle of the ocean.
No kidding. Hey, discovered multiple locations.
locations. Oh, that was smooth, Ubisoft. Smooth.
Nice, Ubisoft.
Well, Well,
Yeah,
think of it this way.
Maybe
Think
it
of it
should
this
have been delayed a little bit more.
yeah.
Oh gosh, here's
Oh, there's more. I didn't see this.
What's this?
Yep. That's
Oh,
Dave
this
Energy.
is a skit.
Yep. Oh my
That's
goodness,
funny.
that's amazing. You know,
Uh,
that looks.
sorry, I couldn't help myself.
I know.
Also, I didn't think it'd be that loud. Holy crap.
That was pretty loud. I was like, oh my goodness.
actually. You should
Not gonna
save
lie.
it for this right here.
Not gonna lie,
Now
that
you play
looks
it.
fun. That looks like fun if it were real life. I'd be flying around going like, woo!
Right?
Anyway.
Okay, so because like any modern game, they have to have love scenes. Now, the canon version of Yosuke's love scene is where he gets with what's his face's sister, who, cheats on her husband for him.
Ugh.
Of course.
But Naue, her love scene.
Who are you? I am
Hello there.
from Iga.
Let's see, where is
And what does someone from Iga want from me? Your help getting into Sakamoto Castle and killing Akechi Kagemitsu.
Maybe if we can get to it.
Duty calls.
Is this just Naue's touch? She just got shot in the leg.
Hey, finish it off. Hey, finish it off.
All right, here we go.
Begins with a kiss.
This is all Naue's things. This is her canon. Love scene.
That's canon?
This is
I
her
swear.
canon.
Can
people
somebody
are so
put a face
unimaginative.
palm because I'm already like
Journey over thousands
Because
steps
of course her canon
that
wants to make her
begins
lesbian.
with a kiss.
They have
In feudal
absolutely no
Japan, no
imagination. I
less.
swear.
Like, I
In
get it if it was modern day, but
In feudal Japan, heck no, absolutely
No.
not.
no. Nah, that ain't happening.
But any chick who can fight or is even slightly tomboyish, they just go, "Oh, she must be a lesbian." No. Sometimes we like pants and to
No,
punch
they
people.
think the modern day stuff existed for like millennia, apparently.
Oh yeah, everything's modern day.
And it's all just modern day stuff because, we live in a lap of luxury and can actually do that. Back in the day, that was like a death sentence.
yeah.
Yep.
That was the end of your bloodline. It was a death sentence. It was definitely not, particularly, or it was very frowned on.
Mhm.
Shadows.
And
I'm amused that none of the samurai have samurai haircuts.
that too. That because
Don't
don't they
mention
got to
it.
have a tail? Wasn't that a thing? Like, it
Well,
was just,
yeah, they bald out the front, and then they have that their hair pulled back into that tail thing.
yeah. I was about to say because it was a thing like you could collect samurai tails and bring them to your shogun or something.
Yoichi. She needs my help again.
Why does he talk like an ancient
And here's his
Japanese
canon
lord?
love scene.
Like he's African. And has been in a Portuguese ship.
I have learned something in my battles. Time is a veil. Tomorrow is an illusion.
And all we have left is here and now.
The present of Dwight's a gift, says Kung Fu Panda.
Oh, that's nightmare fuel.
Yep.
They did not do that cat justice. Holy crap.
So that's what he does for his final one. But his optional one is this guy.
I cannot decide if I should be elated for the help or enraged.
So enjoy
One
this.
might see us.
If I've seen it, so shall you.
No, I don't.
Do you care?
Yep, enjoy the brain cancer of the non-binary samurai. Because those totally existed.
It's like a Thailand ladyboy.
I am getting.
You're welcome.
But and what kills
Joe
me is
Draws, thanks for showing up. You know what? We were talking about that earlier. Why does this game look so bad? It is the latest in the series.
Yeah, it is
I don't
terrible.
know, other than incompetence.
Joe, it's not even just that it looks bad, but I've had people tell me it plays janky. There's glitches. Glitches can be fun if done right, but like, yeah, it's a whole mess of things.
But
And-
yeah, apparently they've got a non-binary samurai because that was totally a thing back then. And that's also one of his romanceable characters.
I mean, the thing is, though, like, okay, you got, like, the one person that was a cross-dressing pirate from back in that day, but cross-dressing isn't non-binary.
Yeah, it's just
Non-binary isn't a thing.
Yeah, you're just well, and try to keep this in mind. This was a when
Well, that's a
when,
modern
when
deism.
the when the Black Flag came out and parts and all that, Mary Reed did so because she needed work and
Yeah.
she needed to find some way to get work because it's either bars or prostitution. But she chose working in the sales crew disguised as a dude because she had it's either that or the other option. And from what I know, last I checked, she actually got herself knocked up by a dude.
Well, we're
And-
talking about the group who views cross-dressing as trans, so
Oh yeah, I mean,
no.
I'm
it's
just
not the same thing.
Yeah, I know. That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's cross-dressing is just for at that time was just done as a
I
way
mean, at
to,
that point, anybody who played in a Shakespeare play is trans.
Yeah.
And we know that wasn't the case. It's just only men were acting.
Yep.
But anyway, so now that we've talked about for about an hour and a half of Assassin's Creed,
Oh my gosh, it has been.
it has been. It's been an hour and 20 minutes of
Hey, this
Assassin's
has
Creed
this
talk.
this low-hanging fruit has been dangling in front of our eyes for quite a while.
We had a
though. I
lot
mean,
to go through. So much has happened besides their bad numbers.
And it kind of came all at once, too.
Oh,
yeah,
where
because
is
we
it?
also got Snow White drop today.
Yeah, that's been
I
on there
didn't catch-
too.
I didn't
But
catch that, actually.
United Nations, the old folks over there at the old folks' home of the United Nations, have decided to ask Helldivers 2 studio Arrowhead if they'd give a talk on psychological manipulation. Could we brainwash an entire community to fight for a fascist state? Would we be okay with that? Turns out, yeah. And they're basing this all off of, can you guess? The role play that followed Helldivers 2. Because these old folks over there at the United Nations don't understand what role play is. And apparently have never seen it a day in their life.
Oh, no.
And they thought all of us was serious.
Zio. They know what role playing is. The Bohemian place will tell you all about what role playing is when they go there.
Well, I think they actually believe, so you know.
Yeah.
But anyway, for those who are uninitiated to what role playing is when it comes to like video games and stuff like that in the nerd space and stuff, over on the TikTok side of things, we had this massive role play that happened a few years back. All right, and it all started pretty much with this guy here. So this guy started doing these things where he would take a thing like this, and he essentially would, invoke the Council of Men. As a result, it spawned things like the Sisterhood too, who did similar things. Okay, so we'll get a look at what we're looking at.
The council has kept the Audacity safe for over 30,000 years.
He's good.
You mean to tell me that she's found herself 5 miles from its perimeter?
I like these lacquer motion
What?
playing behind the scene.
Off-flying torpedoes. It's in the clouds. She's invited to the diversion. She can come.
Well, this is the Vantalord, and he started doing that stuff, and it was great and all fun and stuff. And
That
then
is
we had the
fantastic.
Sisterhood and other things crop up, sort of like a tit for tat kind of thing.
Yeah, kind of
Yeah,
play off of
Yin
it,
and
yeah.
yang, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And it was all great and well. And then we had one guy show up, and he started divulging the secrets to the Council of Men. To the women, no less.
Oh, jeez.
And it caught wind.
Traitor.
The people caught wind of this and was like, yo, the council, call the council. Because then we had all these different creators from all works of life coming together to the Council of Men to deal with this. And it was an internal matter of the Council of Men. We've got a guy, he's now wanted. And it became this giant role play. The Sisterhood stayed neutral throughout this for a while. But then he got secrets from the Sisterhood, which then caused the Sisterhood to splinter into those who were, in with the Council of Men and those who were not. So it was no longer a neutral thing. And it spawned, or it went to like
That is
cosplayers were in
insane.
on it. So you had like multiple versions of different Doctor Who's in on this as well. You had the D&D community in on this, various
Wow.
gaming sects on this, and it was self-contained into TikTok. So it didn't really leave the TikTok space much. That is what we had over on the Helldivers thing. It was make-believe. We all had a good
Yeah.
time. It lasted a few months, and then we all went about our business
For
after.
Super Earth, yeah.
So when
Good time.
Helldivers came around, it was a play on a certain movie that we've all seen. What was that movie again?
Starship.
Starship Troopers, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, there we go. I was expecting Chad to chime in quicker than that, but geez, Meg had to pull the slack.
I know. God.
But yeah, so it was a play on that whole Starship Troopers things, and Helldivers already had a small cult following because it was a small isometric top-down game. And then they launched their second one, which launched them into the realm of 3D, gave you lots of things to shoot at, and quite frankly was one of very few games that was fun coming out at the time. So then it spawned a bunch of people RPing. We weren't really thinking that we were like these super Earth elitist zealots. We were just pretending to be super Earth elitist zealots, which is why when you came in and said something that contradicted what we knew at the time, like flying bugs, we would report you to the Ministry of Truth for Re-Education. We would have spats back and forth. And then when it came out that flying bugs did exist, we acted like it always existed and we always knew. Because that's how the RP went. I mean, it went, and these people did not understand it, that their community managers in their Discords were out here telling us how bad we were, how we need to stop, and how it's a
You're having fun wrong.
X, Y, and Z, and you should not be doing this and engaging in this kind of thing. Because they didn't understand how gamers work.
It reminds me of a line from what was that movie? Indian in the Cupboard. You should not do magic you do not understand. And that sounds like what these UN people are kind of getting themselves into. They're trying to do magic that they do not understand. I'm like, look, if you don't understand memetics and general fun and the psychology of human beings when they're on the interwebs, maybe you're not big enough to be on the interwebs. Maybe this is not the place for you.
Players' eagerness to fight for Super Earth begs the question, are we the baddies? Yes, we are the baddies. We understand we're the baddies.
Yeah.
We probably started every one of those wars for supremacy reasons, but that's not the point.
What, over the bugs?
So yeah, because there's parallels between if you dive into the pro-Tyranid stuff, which you shouldn't be doing. If anyone is pro-Tyranid, just a word of advice: report them to the Ministry of Truth ASAP.
For democracy.
For the democracy, yes, for Super Earth. Never ever let them go unchecked. But the pro-Tyranid people claim that we started the war with the bugs. They said, we bred them in captivity and all this other stuff, and things went wonky, and that is just not the truth. They attacked us first. We're fighting back for freedom, for Super Earth. But and then Starship Troopers, it's a similar thing. Apparently, if you read the books or something, apparently we were throwing asteroids at us or something like that to start a war with these bugs. But that's a work of fiction, unlike Super Earth. Super Earth. Remember your roots, people.
Yes.
Democracy will never fail. Anyway.
Manage democracy.
They think because we RP'd the hell out of this for several months before the community managers went to shit, and then Sony came in with their hammer and pulled the game really down for a while.
Yeah, Sony really screwed over Helldivers.
Game had
by a lot.
Between the community managers not being reined in and Sony, yeah. And finding out, what is this? Oh, okay.
This is everybody downvoting. I think that's Assassin's Creed.
But anyway, they're wanting to know if they can, turn everybody into brainwash them into these raging zealots of some kind. It's no, that's just not how that works.
No, it's called a joke. It's called a
joke. They should not do magic. All in and they
understand.
They do not understand the magic. They should not try to do
Helldivers is still going on pretty decently strong. But it's pales in comparison to what it was. So,
used to be outrageously popular.
Yeah, but shiny new thing is always going to lose some of its luster. But yeah.
Well, I mean, it lost its luster because of Sony and community managers.
They cast a little bit of shade on it themselves. I'm like, why are you rusting up your own product? I mean, it's going to eventually, lose some of that anyway. You don't need to hurry it along. Ugh, Joker, fully I do.
All right, so what is this?
Matrix Resurrections.
Put it in the thing.
It's right there where it says file for bankruptcy.
Matrix Resurrected and Joker. The world is a stage. Has filed for bankruptcy.
Two.
The producers of them have filed for bankruptcy. Well, yeah, I mean,
they had something.
They fucked up two great properties.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, Matrix. There is literally only one Matrix movie. Everything else is a bad fan fiction.
Well, yeah. I mean, after the first one, everything else was bad.
One was amazing.
Joker, the sequel could have been. It had such a potential idea for to screw the audience up, and I mean like a psychological manner, like wondering whether what he thought was everything that we saw was either true or false. They
Then there
had
didn't need to be a second one.
No, there
well,
didn't need to be.
They did
There
it
wasn't supposed
purposely
to be
to
a
shit
second
it.
yeah,
one.
I know it's not supposed to be, but if they were gonna do that, at least, they could have just done the example how they did with the first one, because
You know
when
what? You know what they should have done? They should have done different villains in this darker tone. So you got the Joker. Maybe do like Mr.
See,
Freeze.
the thing is, people loved the Joker, and they weren't supposed to love the Joker.
Yeah, you were
They
having
had
fun wrong.
destroyed the Joker.
yeah, like I said, if I don't know, if I were directing this, I think I would have, or produced it, I think I would have done it a different. I would have done it a very differently. I would have actually, if they were gonna bring in Harley Quinn or anything like that, I would have actually done some few changes and
All right,
probably
hold up real quick.
Well,
yeah.
the problem with
Okay,
Harley Quinn
hold
these
up,
days is
hold
that
up.
they fail to understand what Harley Quinn was. Harley
hold
Quinn
it
was
up.
created in Batman the Animated Series, and she was created basically to be a standard a gun mall, basically. You know,
Yeah,
just
yeah,
a gangster side piece. You know,
All right,
yeah.
really
so
stupid in the vein of what was her name? Gosh, the chick who played in Born Yesterday wasn't Billie Holiday, was it? Maybe
I
it
have
was. I think her
no
name
idea.
was Billie Holiday. Blonde chick, very abrasive voice. And she was basically like the classic that Harley Quinn was styled after, you know. Really stupid Mr. J kind of stuff, always a little bit ditzy and everything. And they've been trying to make her an empowered girl boss for the past decade, I want to say. And it's failing to understand who this character was, why we liked her, why we found her entertaining and charming, because she's not empowered enough, and we're having fun wrong again. So and the reason that they did a Joker Part 2 is because they wanted to correct the way we were having fun. They wanted to destroy this character because we weren't supposed to like him. So they were basically taking him away from us. They were never going to do a Joker 2 correctly because they were horrified that people liked the Joker.
Oh yeah. Now we have hit
I'm done.
the
Sorry.
last 30-minute mark of the show. So, in the description down below is the Rumble link. If you want to continue watching this on Rumble, you can. The rest of you over on the YouTube lands and the Twitch and the Twitters and wherever the hell it is, good luck to you. But we're going to continue this over on Rumble. So if you want to watch the last 30 minutes, go over to Rumble.
Real quick, I have to dip early tonight.